this letter clearly stipulated that my participation will not only be as Undersecretary of the Office of the Presidential Advisor of the Peace Forces, but as an Bangsamoro lawyer who should stand with you in hardship or in pain, in trouble or in success. I am here and I am one with you. I am a Bangsamoro. I was born as a Bangsamoro. I have been known to the Bangsamoro, and I will die as a Bangsamoro. Position does not matter. But since this morning I was given the responsibility of articulating for the government, let me say that even yesterday, Governor Mujiba Kaman has requested me to say a piece. He wants to express profound facilitation and thanks to Governor Abdul Kapoor for sponsoring this. He also estimated to me that he really wants to come if he can catch a private plane, but if he cannot come, then I just say that thanks to Governor Pan. But the role that I have to present to you is to explain the framework agreement of the Bangsamoro. I will caution, I am not in the panel before the signing of the final peace agreement. I was with the technical working group, the group that is supposed to be tasked to complete the annexes to the framework agreement. Although very recently there is a movement in the panel with the appointment of our chair of the panel, Margaret Llorens, to the Department of Justice, and accordingly I am now delegated to the panel. I assure you, whatever suggestion and recommendation that will be propounded today, I will bring that to the attention not only of the government but to the panel itself. Lest we keep the framework agreement of the Bangsamoro may be taken from a different perspective, let me begin with the policy statements of the President relative to the framework agreement. The framework agreement, as already intimated by our esteemed brothers from the MILF, who are all present here and led by Dr. Ibrahim, is an understanding of the problem in Bangsamoro. Today, the perspective has changed. It is no longer a Bangsamoro problem. It is a Philippine government problem. Because the impact of peace in Mindanao is an impact to the development of the country. We are supposed to be the fastest growing region as part of the BNCR, but we have been constrained because of the problem in the Bangsamoro problem. Let me just point that Luzon, Visayas is always received when natural calamities, but the island province of Mindanao is straight on all sides. We are only a victim of man-made calamities or an artificial one. If the problem before I proceed, I would, in deference to the arrival of a brother and a blood relative, recognize the arrival of one of the most popular man in the Bangsamoro, who has not only stewarded the peace, but who has broken the roadmap, the first roadmap to peace. My brother and uncle, Dr. Professor Nur Miswari. I am indeed sorry for failing to continue, but I must say that I should give the most respect to my uncle, the chairman of the Moro National Liberation Front. And for me, the icon of peace, we must underscore, trying to say that Dr. Professor Nonishwari has not only galvanized the unity of the Bangsamoro, he was responsible to bring the ethnically divided Bangsamoro to one nation, the Bangsamoro nation. And he has also taught me to be in this code of the peace process, to be peace to the Bangsamoro. I think he will lead us to peace. He will leave a legacy of peace, not only to the present Bangsamoro, but to the children of the Bangsamoro people. So I will state without fear of contradiction that recognition of Chairman Nishwari as a man of peace is now enshrined, not only in the history of the Bangsamoro, but already in the hearts of most of us. May I say, let me proceed with my discussion with your good. The context of the framework agreement is not reviewed from the present day situation. It should be viewed from the historical past. There are statements to the effect that the framework agreement was signed by President Noy Aquino as part of his legacy administration. That is true, because if my uncle, the chairman of the NLF, remember, Senator Noy Aquino was once invited to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and he spoke before the King Abdulaziz University. He was asked, if given the opportunity to become leader of the president, what will you do to the problem of Southern Philippines? If my memory serves me right, this is the categorical answer then Senator Noy Aquino. We can talk of bringing to peace in this context. Life at best is second best. It is a perpetual compromise between the ideal and the maximum. If you ask me for the ideal peace in Mindanao, I cannot give it to you, because only God can give it to you. But if you ask me of meaningful autonomy within the context of the possibility, then we can discuss meaningful autonomy. That is the context that the present administration we have viewed the problem in the Bangsamoro. And this did not end with Noy Aquino. President Noy Aquino attempted to pursue the Ninoy Aquino. In his first act as President of the Republic of the Philippines, many of us also can verify that he violated presidential protocol and proceeded to Sulu to meet with our brother Nuro, here in the heart of the province of Sulu, particularly in its capital town of Colón, very near to this place. That was an attempt to bridge peace for all Filipinos.